everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be covering another important topic, which is positive predictive value and negative predictive value. This is related to my previous two videos, so I will advise you to go and watch them before watching this one. So, what are predictive values? It measures the correctness of the test results. So these are some of the questions that the predictive values answer. For example, how accurate are our results? How many of the positives are true positive and how many of the negatives are true negatives? In short, it measures percentage of positives that is accurate. It means the percentage of positive results that are accurate and percentage of negative results that are accurate. Another very important point is that do not confuse it with sensitivity and specificity because these two may seem quite similar, but they are actually very different because predictive values are useful for the patients. On the contrary, sensitivity and specificity is useful for the physician. To understand this concept, you have to be well versed with the 2 by 2 table. So I have a separate video on that, so please do check that out. So for example, we have a 2 by 2 table, and as you can see, we have the true positives, the false negatives, and the true negatives. So the reality written on top of the two columns indicates the actual status of the patient. For example, if they are diseased or they are not diseased. So if positive is written on top of the first column, it means that these patients are actually positive. And if negative is written on top of the second column, it means that these patients are actually negative. And the rows. The rows signify and tell us about the test results. For example, the first row tells us that these are the positive patients according to the test we are studying. And the second row tells us that the patients that have tested negative. So the reality is written in the form of columns and the test results are written in rows. So, in our previous videos, we calculated sensitivity and specificity with the help of columns. We used the left column for sensitivity and the right column for specificity. In the predictive values, it is kind of same, but we are going to use horizontal rows. We are not going to touch the columns. We are going to be dealing with horizontal rows. So, for example, in this slide, if we have let's take the first horizontal row, which is for the positives, and we want to see the percentage of positives that are accurate. So, which of these two values would tell us the accurate positives? Obviously, the true positives. So, so if we are calculating the percentage of positives that are actually true, so that would be the true positives. So it would be in the numerator, while the rest of it, true positive plus false positive, is going to be in the denominator. And if you multiply, just plug in the values and multiply it by 100, and you will get the percentage. So, what does this answer, you may ask? This answers the question of the patient. For example, if I am the patient or you are the patient and you get test results, and it is written that you have tested positive for something, for any disease. So you'll ask yourself, what are the chances that these results are actually true? That is the positive predictive value, the chance that your test result is actually true. For example, if you have tested positive for a disease and you want to know what are the chances that this test is true, what are the chances that I really have the disease, so that would be positive predictive value. And in the same way, you can calculate negative predictive value by dealing with the second row, which is the negatives. So what are the percentages of negatives that are accurate. Which value would tell you that this negative is accurate? You can see in the second row, we have the true negatives. So obviously, if we're going to calculate the percentage, we have to put true negative in the numerator, while false negative plus true negative will be in the denominator. Plug in the values, multiply by 100, and you get the value of negative predictive value. So, if you have tested negative, for example, you have tested negative for COVID 19 PCR test, and you want to ask, what are the chances that I really don't have the disease? So, that would be the negative predictive value. These are the values that the patient should concern himself with. Meanwhile, the sensitivity and the specificity are important for the physician. This is actually a pretty small and easy topic, and it is very brief, but I have still created a mnemonic for you guys to just really help you stick it into your minds. The mnemonic is party hard. It means that the predictive values P for party and P for predictive values, they deal with the horizontal values. So for example, in the exam, if you forget the formula for positive predictive value and negative predictive value, you can just draw the 2 by 2 table, and just remember that they deal with the horizontal values. It means the horizontal, the rows. So the first row is for positive predictive value, and the second row is for negative predictive value. So, the entire summary of this lesson is that positive predictive value and the negative predictive value tells a patient that what are the chances that their results are actually true. And that is all. I have kept it sweet and short for this video. Hope you understood it. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my videos. If you have any queries or any suggestions, please drop them down in the comments below. Take care of yourself and your family. See you later. Bye.